Greetings, ladies, gents, oddies, and all the in-betweens. It is me, Crimson Slave, and I'd like to welcome to my Tiny Files. So, I actually have realized something about this stand that I got. So I'm like slowly learning, maybe one of the coolest presents I've ever gotten for a birthday present. It's up there, presents with functionality, for sure. Maybe I don't mean that. Either way, I found out that I can like lift this bar up and keep the light at a certain angle. And I can do that and not have the glare off my glasses, which is beneficial to me. So I think that's cool. Let's talk about the week, because it's hard to explain this week, because honestly, I'm happy about something. I'm happy about like two things, but at the exact same time, the thing that I'm happy about got destroyed and kind of like brought down the mood by two fun things. The first fun thing is I do mean it, like suddenly got a cold. Like Thursday night into Friday, I was fine. I went out, did some stuff, had a great Friday, woke up completely sick. I had no symptoms, I wasn't coughing, I had no runny nose, but I woke up Saturday sick. Like, unbelievably sick. But I also woke up in a really bizarre manner, and I'll get to that back when I go back to part of this. So, let's talk about the things. I don't know how to debate on this, because I realize like I can say anything I want to in my videos, etc., etc. But I recognize that people don't like me and people hate me, and like I don't have a natural. Depending on the situation, I have a filter, but like I don't ever feel overall that I have a great filter. So I gotta think about things occasionally while I'm in the middle of doing it. So I think that I will share my biggest news. It's super happy. It's super great for me. I'm happy about the thing that happened, and it's something that I'm super happy about. And I will say this: after so much time waiting, I was finally, and it's true, I was finally able to play Suicide Squad Kill Justice League, and it has been one of the most rewarding experiences that I've had for a video game that I have been excited for over a long period of time. The one thing that I will say about it in my time playing it so far, I don't understand how it's stitched together, because I know that Rocksteady has taken a long time to make this game for like various reasons with development and stuff like that. So while playing the game, I came across a museum, and the museum in a really bizarre way connected Batman Arkham, the first Batman game, which is essentially a takeover of Arkham, where Joker went through a whole thing. It connects Arkham City. Now, I'll mind you, Joker dies in both of the games. So more of us never played them. But it connects Batman Arkham City, and it also connects Batman Arkham Knight. It also connects the DLC from those games, and it also connects the overall canonical problems in that game, and rolls all of it into Kill the Justice League. I currently have not played Arkham Knight. I want to. I'll eventually get around to doing it, because they put it in Game Pass, and I will get around to playing Arkham Knights. So I don't officially know if that's into this currently, but I will say, as someone who played the entire Batman series, and I personally think that of the Batman Arkham games that have been made out in a few years, I would say the PS3 game that used to have a really cool statue. The PS3 game that used to have a really cool statue for, which is Batman Arkham Origins, was a better Batman story because of how it made sense. If you don't play the Batman Arkham games, you can take that as you will. If you're a big fan of these games, you can have your opinion on that. I personally think that Batman Arkham Origins was a better game overall because it showcased everyone's actual abilities. It's a one-night game, and it makes more sense that all this happened in one night, and it uses Batman's adversity and his power and a foggy history for why everyone is going into Arkham to do what they're doing. It also happens to be a problem game because, unfortunately, every Batman game has to have a Joker takeover, and even that's handled well. As someone who loves Joker, I don't know how to say that in a way that doesn't make it sound bad, but every Batman game has a problem where Joker takes over and becomes becomes the main antagonist, which can be bad or good depending on the game. I think if you want to go that level, Origins may have been the better Batman game, but you can debate that if you want to. Kill Justice League, really well written. I think everyone's really well done. And the fact that the game gives you the ability to switch between every character per mission and gives every character their own different traversal, their own different system, and the things they specialize in, gives it its own better feel. And certain missions are better because certain missions they encourage you to use a certain character because of how it affects them or how the events in that mission will be better for them or their connection to the thing at hand. So far, great game. The only thing that I think that's like brought down my enjoyment of the game as a whole, because currently I'm holding that shit up at a 9, which like the only 10 out of 10 games that I've ever loved are the Borderlands series, the Dishonored series. I don't like Deathly Outsider. Different reasons. Deathloop, and Thief. Even the new Thief. Good games. But the reason why I'm bringing this down to a 9 is because canonically, game-wise, and comic book-wise, it's flowing really well. I just hate Waller. And you can say what you want to if you've ever possibly seen the Suicide Squad movies, and that's your only belief on Waller. Don't take my opinion to heart because you don't fucking know what I'm talking about. But if you've ever read a comic book or you've, I don't know, watched what's a comic book like movie, or you've read any of the I think up to 6 different runs of Suicide Squad, I have always liked Waller. And I even liked Waller in the preview for the game. I thought that would be the level of the person that she's going to be. Because Waller in the comic books, in Suicide Squad runs they've done, has always been an interesting character because it works on a symbiotic relationship that she gives the Suicide Squad impossible things to do. And there's always the threat, I'll blow up your head, or I'll get rid of your sentences, or I'll trade you something for this ability. And Waller was something that I would like to call, I would like to say that Waller has a sense of chaotic neutral because she's always out for herself. Because I wouldn't say justice or anything like that, but she's always out for herself, and she's always into making the lives of the Suicide Squad. Doesn't matter what configuration that you want to go with it in, or if you want to go on different series where Batman befriends people. Whenever you have a dynamic like I've noticed in comic books and Suicide Squad comics, there's always been this dynamic that Waller wants too much from the Suicide Squad. They obviously hate her, and then you kind of bring Flag into it, and you bring in other characters who would introduce Suicide Squad. I don't want to go through a bunch of names that people may not know, or technically I'm making this video to myself. It doesn't really matter. But when you bring in other characters and you talk about Suicide Squad, you have this idea of Waller, and the idea of Waller that I've always loved about Waller is that her biggest thing is she's threatening the Suicide Squad to do things, and at some point during every mission, every comic book run, even the movie, they kind of go, and they still get it done. Even if you watch either of the Suicide Squad movies, which they're okay. for sure. They're okay. Definitely fives. Definitely five. The second one's better, but it's technically a big marketing ploy. You get the thing. Get the thing. They're things. The reason why I don't like Waller in this game, because I'm rambling on this. I like Waller in this game because Waller in this game has no control of the situation, and she sincerely has no real leverage over the situation that she's doing. And I think as I continue this game, I'm going to hate that more and more, but I'm still enjoying the game, which is why it's holding at a 9, because Boomerang's commentary is interesting. The fact that every character is being referential to other things while keeping it in universe. Like, everyone in game is acknowledging Joker's dead. They're also acknowledging the things that happen in Arkham Knight, and they're talking about how that affects it. This entire game is somehow based on Metropolis. I'll get to the point that I like about the game later, but everything is self done, and they're introducing interesting characters into the DC universe that I think are really cool. Like, they introduced Toyman, they introduced Gizmo, someone I didn't think would pop up in any comic book series either. But then again, I didn't think that Mad Hatter would pop up in Arkham City. So you can take how you want to. I think Rocksteady is doing a great job introducing comic characters that you might not know who actually make sense in the universe. So because of that, loving the game, enjoying playing it. Yeah, sorry. I just want to get all that out. But also, I'm interested to know because one of the things that happened, because I got this game January, I think. I forget when I got it. But when I got the game, they gave me a free coupon for a battle pass. And I was like, how the fuck is that going to work? Because, like, when it came out, the game came out, like, the week I got it, because I got the Deluxe Edition of it. I got 3 days early. It's a whole thing with it. And one of the things was they had a battle pass. And basically, when I got the game, it didn't matter, I couldn't play it. They basically were like, oh, it's broken. They're like, oh, it's broken, so you can't play it. But now, I've like waited super long. They added a battle pass. In the battle pass, I've looked into it now, started game turned on, played again, got far enough in the game to unlock my deluxe edition perks and everything. I actually think the way that they've done the battle pass for this game may be one of definitively one of the better ways I've seen people handle battle passes flat. Because in the game, in battle pass, you can do missions and you can get stuff for battle pass. You can do missions in game. You can do things, kill things, and kill enemies. You get battle pass. The battle pass is ranked up by I think 1,000 battle pass things that get you one thing, and they basically unlock cosmetics, banners, different outfits for certain characters, voice lines that you can say in the game, and that's interesting. To me, it's super interesting and super good because it encourages you to play the game and encourages you to play the game daily, but it's also for the next 95 days, like Siege does Battle Pass. Like, you don't have to rush to get Battle Pass done. If you've ever played Fortnite, or you've ever played a game with a Battle Pass, there's always like a very, very short time period, and it's like you can get a cosmetic if you want to. Or if you want to fucking push forward, you can pay money, and you can get this thing that you want. I don't know. I personally think overall, it's just a great game. It's being made well. But then again, WB Studios is like taking a bigger initiative in how they're developing their games. And I'm not 100% sure I like that. But I think currently the game's actually holding up pretty good. There's that. So, sorry. I know that I veered from my point, but I've been able to play Justice League Kill. I've been able to play Suicide Squad, Kill Justice League, and it's amazing. The second cool thing is, once I beat the game, they've actually made more content. And the content that they have, you can go to different islands in the DC universe and you can be Joker. How? I don't know. Currently, I didn't actually play Arkham Knight. I think I bought it. Did I? I don't know. I think I bought it. I'm not 100% sure, but there's a whole thing behind that. I don't have anything else that I used to have. But I think I bought Arkham Knight. I remember there being a lot of bad things about it, but I think Joker is dead in that game. 20% sure? 30% sure. I'm 30% sure that Joker may be dead in that game because he died in Arkham City. Don't quote me on that. But they brought him back, and they even had an interesting reason for it because they gave me a whole little preview for it, and you get to go to this whole different city off Metropolis, which actually makes perfect sense, and Joker's there dealing with the effects of the universe that Brainiac's dealing with, and they made it make sense. It made sense, and you're doing stuff, and you're doing a whole separate thing with Scarecrow involved. Because even though it's canonically connected to all the other games, it's also going in its own direction and making it make sense. No, saying that, I've currently killed 2 prominent people from the Justice League, so I'm not 100% sure where it's going to go. But hopefully, it'll make sense. Good times. The other thing that happened. I have not gotten my hair cut. I am starting to get concerned about this because my hair is super long. It needs to be cut on both sides. And I attempted to make a industrial bar appointment. And I was talking to the person on the phone about it. And that person was like, come in any point in time. As long as you have the money and prove that you're over 18, you're good. You'll get in. You can get in, get out, get it done. They told me one of 2 things. If you're going to get it done, just make sure that it's in a good place. And this place also told me that they do all everything. So apparently I can get my industrial bar, and they actually are doing 2 different things. So like, they told me if I went to get an industrial bar and get more holes in my ear, just make sure that I do it 3 weeks out, depending on your pain tolerance, and get it done. So maybe by summer, when I have stuff planned, I will have an industrial bar in this ear once again, and I will have the 3 other holes in this ear that I want. I'm also sick. A different sick. I have a head cold, which actually has been horrible because for the first time, I think it's the first cold I've gotten. I think it's the first cold I've gotten in 4 years, maybe 5. It's persistent and it's very annoying. Because I don't get sick very often. Like, if I get sick, it's like insanely sick. And I say that as someone over the past maybe 12 years, I've gotten like cold and I get over it in a day. Or I have sniffly nose and I get over it in a day. But I've only been sick basically twice. And one of those times I got diabetes, almost died from a sugar over it. My sugar being insanely high. And when I found out that I had gastroparesis, which was caused by my diabetes. So the fact I've had a cold over the past few days, insane. The other thing, it's April Fool's Day. Well, maybe it's April Fool's Day, I don't know. It's April Fool's Day. It's late and I haven't looked at a clock in a little bit. Because I just was taken out. I went to sleep at some point because having a cold, having real stuff up, makes it hard to breathe while you sleep because you usually breathe out. So I spent hours trying to breathe out and couldn't do it. But I think that's because my grandparents don't know what they want. And me and my mother tried to appease something, and we set their thermostat to something, and I woke up caked in sweat and had to wash 2 blankets, all of my sheets, which is why I'm currently sitting on the plastic thing on my bed, and I had to get bedding because I just woke up extremely sweaty, and my grandparents were like, oh, it's too hot, turn it down. And from that, I woke up not only sweaty, but with a cold. So my mom explained it to me as she thought it was too hot, and my grandmother thought it was too hot. So she was like, oh, cut the air down. So at some point between me going to sleep Friday, which I will admit I spent a lot of time, spent a lot of point in my day having a long conversation with a friend and making plans for next week, and went to sleep early. So at some point in me going to sleep, the house was superheated to apparently above 82. So I slept here above 82. Somewhere in my sleep, I decided to I tried to take off the heavier blanket for the lighter blanket, and somehow slept in both. And then soaked everything through with sweat, and while I basically had two sweaty things around me, super tired, dealing with other things, continued to sleep, the house went from 82 to apparently 68. And this room superheats or super cold, and it's in the middle, it stays in the middle. So when it got cold, it was freezing in here. And because I went to sleep hot, not only was it freezing, but I also had two fans on full blast. Which I discovered like maybe 2 weeks ago, that if this fan, you can't see, pointing at it, you can't see it, is on full blast, it dries out the room. So I might need to get like a fan that has a humidifier in it. It's the whole thing that I'm dealing with overall, but it dried me out. So I basically just like went to sleep, super hot, sweaty, with the fans in the room trying to be against that. And then it got colder, and then super froze everything up. Then my sinuses got dried out, and that's how I woke up cold. And thus I'm just doing this. I think it's ironic because technically I want to be happy about things. Like Zim Day passed, and I was actually happily on the internet to actually see it. I saw a bunch of fan art, people enjoying it, people submitting things to places. I was bouncing on the internet, finding cool art for Zim Day. Zim is officially 23 years old, which is insane to me, because like I remember when Later Zim first premiered on Nickelodeon, and it's 23 years old. Amazing. I was happy. I was happy to enjoy Zim Day, and I'm happy today is April Fool's Day, because there's a thing. I also slept most of the day because this cold kicking my ass and not being able to breathe out of my nose, kind of annoying and partial. But at some point, I just like crashed and just didn't wake up until I woke up. So I don't know what time it is. I got some food, and I think okay, I got some food, like 9-ish, but my grandparents were yelling about something. I didn't want to make a video with my grandparents basically yelling from one room to the other, that being caught in the crossfire, me trying to make a video. So I don't know what time it is, because I was watching like YouTube and stuff, and yeah. But made a video. So yeah. Some things that I will talk about before I let this go, because next week I only have one thing on my agenda, which is someone they used to work where I work, quit. She went to different. I honestly don't know. I'm gonna get an update with her. I gotta give her back her books, so I'm gonna give her back her books, update her on stuff, talking about things. So one thing is, like, she was talking to me about stuff. It's just like, do you want to like visit the mall, or like maybe learn where some stuff is? Because I was talking to her about something, and then like I'm like, how do I put this? I wouldn't say I'm in home stretch. It's dependent on my mother, which is a mysterious thing. I feel that I am approaching the 50% mark. I may be like 42% from where my mom's Brooklyn car is in the yard. It is now cleaned. It is now vacuumed. My mother needs to collect a few more of her essential items out of the car, and then it can be transported to be fixed, and it can come out of the shop and be drivable. I feel that I'm 48% from that point. 40% for being fixed. So because of this, I was talking to my friend, and she asked me about this thing, and I was like, this, and that. And she was like, come out with me. We can go to a mall, and we can maybe go to a different mall, and I can show you where stuff is. So when you can drive yourself officially, you can know where there's things to do. Or if you ever want to just know where someplace cool is, I can show you places I think you'd like. So Friday, I'm apparently going on a geographical, hey Jack, this is where stuff is trip. I don't know what it's called. I made fun of it a little bit, and she was like, let's call it a day date. And I was like, what the hell is a day date? That sounds like a double, I don't know. I'm going on that. So, that's it. Now, I usually say that I hope your week was better than mine. I will admit, my week was okay. My weekend was shit. I didn't get a haircut. Some problems have crept up. My family's doing things. I'm cold still. My week wasn't great. But I think overall, my week was kind of okay. But as always, I hope it was better than mine. If you went through your week not having a cold or things working out, and things worked out for you, and you also had something awesome that you cared about happen, I'm so happy for you. Really am. Annoyed and jealous of you, but a little happy that you're having a great week. Mom, I'm having a shit one. What can you do? But, next week, hopefully, I'll do this again. I'll get a video together. Maybe I'll know what time it is once I do the video. My comfortable time's broken currently. I was asleep until I got food. I don't know what time it is now. Oh yeah, Easter happened. That's a thing too. Easter. Yeah. Anyway, until next week, I guess. So.